Welcome to HortTube. My name is Jim Putnam and this is a Yewtopia Plum Yew. This is the evergreen, shade-loving, drought and heat-tolerant Yewtopia Plum Yew from the Southern Living Plant Collection. Yewtopia Plum Yew can reach 3 to 4 feet in height and about 3 to 4 feet in width. It's a perfect little vase-shaped shrub with almost no maintenance to be done on it. Yewtopia is a very heat and drought tolerant plum yew variety, and it actually can grow from zone 6, which is about -10 degrees, all the way down to zone 10. Plum yews are definitely not in a big hurry to grow. We might get 3 to 6 inches or so of growth out of these in a single season. There are a heck of a lot of uses for a conifer with a tight growth habit like this that grows in shady spaces. The space I'm putting them in today is going to be the outline of my white garden. The top of my white garden is full sun all day long and the bottom part is in the shade. So I'm looking to transition from one thing to another as I reach the bottom of the garden. This is going to be absolutely perfect and it's going to match the boxwoods nicely that I'm using up at the top just to create a nice little frame for my white garden. That's what I'm going to be using it for. I think a great use for this plant would be if you're on a narrow lot and you have a neighbor that's maybe cooks out right next to where you like to sit on your back porch and you're looking for something to screen. If you have a patio that's flat to the ground, and there's a lot of these now, this would be a great plant to plant along your patio space. And so you sit down in your chair and this would make an absolutely perfect screen for you to feel like you have some privacy in a small backyard. Makes a great container plant and especially look great mass planted. This is February when I'm shooting this, and you can see that the new growth is starting to think about coming out right there. The new growth on these is a lighter green color than the rest of the plant, and it really looks fantastic throughout the spring and early summer. These keep a really, really nice, dense, full habit without really having to do anything to them. I have videos on my YouTube channel for planting woody trees and shrubs in either clay or sandy soils. This is not a very finicky plant as long as you're not putting it in an area that's going to stay wet all the time. I just don't think you're going to have to worry too much about it. I have heavy clay soils, so I'll use a little bit of pine bark soil conditioner when I plant them and I leave them mounded up just a little bit. I'm going to use a little pine straw around them today. I'm actually mulching my entire yard with some hardwood mulch later in the month. When I do that, I'm going to make sure that I don't bury these plants in mulch. I'll go back and pull it away from the base. In terms of ongoing watering on these, I'm going to water them in well today. I'll check on them a few times during the growing season, this spring and summer. Once these are established, they don't need a lot of ongoing watering. If it becomes abnormally dry in your area, you may want to check on them in the future. Conifers aren't the best thing for letting you know they're dry. They don't wilt as much as other things. They just start to thin out a little bit in the middle. Don't want you to get to that point, so do check on these if it's abnormally dry. Any pruning you do on these would be done in the late winter or early spring. They don't require a whole lot, but if you need to do any shearing on it, that would be the time to do it. If you want to take a crazy limb off of it, that would be the time to do it. Just maybe late February to mid-March, something like that. Same thing on fertilizing. You can use any kind of slow release fertilizer in the late winter or early spring, something that lasts a few months and then runs out by midsummer so it can kind of naturally go to sleep. I really haven't seen any pest on these Yewtopia Plum Yews. Like I said, I wouldn't put this plant in a space that's going to stay wet. I think that would be a bad idea. You want it to be well-drained soil. Maybe slightly moist would be okay, but not wet in between rains or waterings, and these are very deer resistant. So what are you waiting for? I'm super confident that you can grow these extremely drought tolerant, heat tolerant Yewtopia Japanese plum yews. Thank you very much for watching this video, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel for future videos. Thanks for watching.